Hey, what's up, everybody? I know I haven't been posting video for a few days. If y'all can tell by my voice that I'm not feeling well. Um, Proof exactly. Like I'm always get sick around this time because the change of weather. Like it gets like because this gonna happen again in the fall. Like when it gets start getting cold, then I'll start getting sick for like a few days. Then it'll wash off after that. Kind of the same thing. Like when it goes to from winter to spring, same thing. Because if y'all ain't familiar with the weather down here in Milwaukee, normally it'll be like sometime around like late March you'll get like spring, but this time we finally got spring this week. So yeah, and last year we ended up getting spring like to almost June. And like our winters for the past 3 years hasn't been bad, but they just they've just been insane, just crazy at the same time. So it's like, what more can we say? Um, and I do apologize for not making as many videos as I should, just because I'm not feeling well, and I know I still owe y'all a video talking about the final game of the season with the Bucks. So that's gonna come out at least before the playoffs start. And plus, last couple of weeks I've been like out and about, especially like at wrestling shows, and especially with C2E2 in Chicago. I was there Sunday, and I guess I got to listen what the lady said. My wife, I was run down because I was doing a lot of everything for the past couple of weeks, including son getting shipped out to basic training, so he's gonna be there for like 16 weeks. So yeah, that going on. Try to get plans, to do like a little birthday thing that we normally do every year, like just go to a hotel and just chill out. I know that was we're gonna have plans for that. Um, I'm trying to think. I think there's like something else that's gonna be going on too. So hey, what's up, RR? For those who just joined in, like I said, I apologize for not doing any videos for the past few days because I'm not feeling well. But I was thinking of doing a pre-recorded version of the Jones Chronicles, but I'm probably not. So mainly, this segment, well, with this show, the Jones Chronicles, we talk about everything and anything that was on our mind. So normally, we would have done this at 6 o'clock Central Time. So I know it's like a little after 7 right now in Central Time, and was it like 8 o'clock in the little past 8 on the East Coast, and probably like what 5 p.m. on the West Coast. But anyways, yeah. If the white comes in, she probably will have some stuff to talk about. So, because I know there was things she wanted to talk about for the past couple of weeks, so we just never had the attention to try to do this. But right now, she's taking a shower, and probably when she come back out, she might have some things to say just about anything. So, I guess one topic I want to talk about today, and I think everybody heard about, celebrities went to this little spaceship and only was like up in the sky, like in space for like about, let's say, 10 minutes. And it's like, okay, they did this big old thing, like on experience space for like 10 minutes, then came down, and that was it. So yeah, and the wife said, it's a waste of time, and a lot of hey, look at our guest, Ivy. This is my son's dog. Yeah, she just around just being nosy, and of course she missing her father. One of us, I think they just call us pets, like we call dogs our pets. They probably call us the same things, my pet. So yeah, and go the other way, go the other way. And she's 3, and she is really hyper, and we have a dog called Mindy. She was like that at that age too. Like she was just like real hyper. Like she's still kind of hyper at this day, but she actually, calmed down when she gets older and older. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Other way, I don't care if they in between you. You're not coming over here while I'm doing this. You're better off just doing it that way. See, there you go. See, now that's better. But anyways, so some of the videos that Hazel had showed me, like everybody was giving them Mother's Day. They just had a lot of things to say after that, and a lot of the comments wasn't really that good. Especially like, okay, you have like this type of money just to spend, like just to go in space, but you have a lot of people in the United States are like suffering, and you're not giving back to your community. So that brings me to Gail King, which she actually was part of that group too. And I'm looking back and like all she does is like journalism and reporting. It's like how in the world she end up with like what they said they paid like 25 million each just to do it. But we don't know most of those celebrities either they had their husband or they have their own money themselves. But thinking back, it's like how in the hell that Gail King ended up having 25 million to pay for that and doesn't make that much as a journalist. So that got me thinking about Oprah Winfrey. And some of y'all probably don't know my issues with her, but I do, especially when it was with the I think it was Mally that you had that thing with like The Rock and her talk about we want y'all to like help us support Maui at this time of need, and these millionaires talk about asking people for money and they can't even fund it themselves, which is really kind of stupid. But The Rock did like distance himself from her, so just to give her like the blame. And as I'm reading the Wikipedia about her, but I don't know if all this. I think like most of this is like mainly true. So, but just my opinion that it just sucks that we talk about these celebrities and like everybody talk about where they came from and never forget where they came from and give back. There are some. Hey, get away from each other. Come on, come on. Yeah, they always do this. But anyways, so that get me looking at the Wikipedia of Oprah Winfrey, and like one of my issues with her is like, yeah, although she wasn't born here, but she was raised here, and it's like why she never get back to the community she was from. You have all some of these celebrities and stuff like get back to their community. Then you got the like rich stuck up ones that don't want to do anything about their community and don't want to help out. I guess Hazel brought out at one point that I guess Oprah donated like $10,000. I'm like, well, I should have asked her what for, and even if she did, that's like chump change to her. It's like, are you helping out a community? Are you investing like some business around here? Like, there are probably some things that you could have invest in. And I know she was doing like most of her Oprah Winfrey shows like was in Chicago. Then most likely because most likely I think she did move to L.A. And yeah, it's just I got a big problem with her like not giving back to the community. But I did find out some things. So if y'all listening, if y'all know more about Oprah Winfrey, tell me if some of this stuff is true or not. Because I know Wikipedia can be right to a certain point. Then they probably have half the thing. So y'all know, just let me know and just chat about it. But also like what we do on the Jones Chronicles, we talk about everything and anything. So if there's anything y'all want to talk about, just post it on here and we'll talk about it. We're probably gonna end up doing this for the next hour. So hope you guys have fun with it. Let's see. Oprah Gail Winfrey, born January 29th, 1954. Of course, talk show host, television producer, actress, author, and media pioneer. Yeah, right. Okay, we know, 25 years from 1986 to 2011, she broadcast all her shows in Chicago. Um, and she was the richest African American of the 20th century. Was once the world only black billionaire. Then you have other ones like LeBron James now like a billionaire, and also Michael Jordan was another too. So the thing is like she's like a black millionaire and stuff like that. She can like invest in like in stuff on here, like create some business and stuff like that. But I'm just sorry, it's just certain people are just like greedy and stuff like that. Like if I was in that rich, I always will invest where I come from and create some business and stuff. You got Giannis that's not even from here, but he plays for Milwaukee and investing in some money, like in some business. Like you got the under the Kumbro store in downtown. And I think that's going well. And I think there's some other things that he like invested in. Like you got Ryan Braun, and I think you got somebody else. I forgot who else. I think it was Christian Yelich. I think that invested in the Avenue in downtown, where it's now like an eatery, and they got some stores in there. You got them investing in money into this city, and they're not even from here. It's just like they know what they came from. Junior was it? Yeah, Junior Bridgman, I believe. God rest his soul. Invested in things in like in Wendy's and stuff. Had some stores on here and stuff like that. So I sub and like and keep it up. All right, thank you. Alinga plays. So sorry if I got your name wrong. So I appreciate it. Would y'all have an opportunity? Please like and subscribe. Our main goal is trying to get to like 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So hopefully we can get there. And I do appreciate that sub. So thank you. And we trying to get to more 1,000 subscribers. I know like for people like it's about money, which is true, which I have no problem with. And plus, I'm struggling right now, and I just do this because like I do these videos and stuff like that because it's a passion of mine. Like I like wrestling, I like Milwaukee Bucks, I like to know stuff about the developments and things in Milwaukee, and I like comic books. Well, characters from the comic books as well. So those are my things that I talk about on this channel. But like just this show, we just talk about everything and anything. It's just like no holds bars in this show. So um if y'all think this is gonna be like uncensored, y'all can put the kids away now or just watch it with the kids and just tell them like, okay, don't say this word, don't say this word. So you won't hear the cussing from me, but you'll hear it from my wife. Um, but anyways, more about Oprah Winfrey. Now, no, I'm sorry, I went off subject on that. Winfrey was born to poverty in rural Mississippi to a single teenage mother and later raised in the inner city, Milwaukee. Of course, here. She has stated that she was molested during her childhood and her early teenage years and became pregnant at 14. Her son was born prematurely and died in infancy. Kind of like the same thing with like with my son and what Hazel had to go through with you know child loss and what Hazel did. Of course, y'all already know. Maddie's Mary was born in a few months later after our son died and it's been holding that down ever since, and I do be helping all along and stuff. And of course, WFSO is a sponsor of Maddie's Mary, so we do what we can, like to help this message goes and like keep it up. So yeah, y'all get a chance, check out Hazel Jones channel on YouTube. Hazel Jones 9. She does need some support so she can go live and do like some videos and stuff like that. But besides doing videos like that, like talk about on Mads Mary, she does like sewing patterns and so another guy had like an idea. I don't know if he's gonna be on here today, but he had an idea of having Hazel like do like some cooking tips because I guess like she did on one episode she did like a little nacho thing, with using the tortillas, like slice them up and have them to like kind of like tortilla chips, and I'm having like lots of cheese on the nachos and end up eating them. So yeah, oh that woman's fine, Jordan Grace. I love her. But I'm not that crazy of a fan, the stalker or whatever. But she's like one of those women that I wouldn't mind meeting again and again. But anyway, so I understand, that stuff that happened to Oprah Winfrey and stuff like that, molested and things like that. And some of y'all probably don't know that the same thing happened to me. I got molested while I was like in my preteens and stuff like that by my cousin. I barely speak to him. I did well, like I moved on from it and like trying to like start a new chapter. But I guess like when I told my dad what happened to me, I believe you happened. Well, I guess part of me was thinking like, okay, is he going to like call him, shout at him, or what's he going to do? Like, and I should have just expected that he's not going to do anything. So, like, it took me a bit, but I was just like, wait a minute, he's not going to do anything, or and why would I want him to do something anyway? So, I did move on. So it was like whatever. Um, so that happened. Um, so like I can understand, being molested and stuff like that. So I do understand that. I guess it's like I guess my thing is it's not gonna make me hate, where I live at even more or anything like that. But I don't know that was Oprah thoughts or why she hasn't, done anything for the city that, that she was raised in and try to give back to the community. You know what I mean? So that thing, it was just kind of unexpected. So it was like, what more can we do? Um, we have a friend of ours. Well, it's really like Hazel's friend's husband that went to high school with her. Um, well, I guess she like saying on here that she's been teased and stuff like in school and stuff like that. Then she ended up, being one of the popular kids in high school and just was like bad as anything, like bad attitude and everything. So yeah. So then which okay, probably after like high school and stuff like that, she was sent to live with a man she calls her father, a barber in Nashville, and landed a job in radio while still in high school. By 19, she was a co-anchor for a local evening news. Winfrey's offering emotions experience delivery eventually led her to transfer to a daytime talk show arena. And after boosting her third-rated local Chicago talk show to the first place, she launched her own production company. Well, we all knew that, but like I said, there's some things that we don't know. Don't have to talk about her top show. Like we understand about that. And yeah, she did back up Barack Obama in his candidacy for president, which is nice. It's nice. The first half black on president, so yeah, why not? Let's see. She won many awards throughout her career, including 19 daytime Emmy awards, including nice lifetime achievement award and the Chairman's Award, two prize, two primetime Emmy awards, Tony Award, a Peabody Award, and a Jean Herstow Humanitarian Award awarded by the Academy Awards, in addition to two competitive Academy Award nominations. And of course, she was elected to American Academy Awards of Art and Science in 2021. So, and I know Mike is here because I know he got real reasons like not like Oprah Winfrey. So, if you want to mention it, you can.
What?
Yo, hate for Oprah Winfrey.
She forgot she was black.
Well, that was another thing, and especially when she did that Michael Jackson special, you were
Oh,
really
she was. Oh, she bogus for that one. You gonna bring a bunch of dudes? First of all, she made this documentary for money.
We knew that.
And then half of the people on there after the documentary was made, point blank came out and said they lied about most of the stuff they said they did, or that he did to them. Like you're supposed to be a friend of the family, and you brought these dudes on a documentary that you knew would deface MJ, and then they lied about it after the fact, which caused almost everything that was associated with Michael Jackson on TV to either be banned More notably, the Simpsons episode that I had to buy the DVD of which that episode was on because they decided because of a documentary where 3 to 4 people lied on it, take that we're gonna take that show or that episode completely off our list. Go to Disney Plus and ask me if you find that episode of The Simpsons. You ain't. It's called Star Crazy Dads in season 4. You ain't gonna find it. Why? Because of that.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That's why I had to buy the DVD that had the episode on it.
But yeah, she really like screwed, the might as say the black community because of her, actions and stuff like that. So of course, born in Cotuco, Mississippi.
She
I
want
told
her
you.
credit back. Goddamn it, she stuck. If Oprah want her credit back, she might as well start handing out free cards to everybody that she's met. You might as well go back to. She might as well go back to doing that to try to get any credit back.
Let's see. Okay, she was born in Cotuco, Mississippi. We know about that. Her mother, Benora Lee, and father, Barnum Wintley. They never got married, of course. Mother died in 2018. Her father died in 2022. Um, oh, he was in the armed forces too, so respect for that. A genetic test in 2006 determined that her maternal line organs along an ethnic group that the area that became Libera. Genetic makeup was determined to be 89% black, well, African, if you want to call it that way, 8% Native American, and 3% East Asian. I don't see it. Anyway, of course, her mother gave her to her grandmother, which was living here, and I think, yeah, I'm not sure. I think her grandma died 'cause she was still living here. Um, or I think that she still owned her house here or something like that. But anyway, just said her grandmother was so poor that Winfrey often wore dresses made of potato sacks, which other children make fun of her, but they never bring up the things that she was making fun of the kids in high school. Um, so, oh wow, a believer in the adage, spare the rod, spoil the child, beat her almost daily. Her grandmother, because I guess she was acting like a spoiled brat. So I guess it kind of shows. So okay, here we go. At age of 6, Winfrey moved to an inner city neighborhood in Milwaukee with her mother, who was less supportive and encouraging than her grandmother had been. Largely as a result of long hours she worked as a maid. Around this time, Lee had given birth to another daughter, Winfield's younger half sister, Patricia, who, died because of related to cocaine addiction in '03. Ouch. Okay. By 1962, Lee was having difficulty raising both daughters, so Winfrey was temporarily sent into Burma and to her father in Nashville, Tennessee. While Winfrey was in Nashville, Lee gave birth to a third daughter who was put up for adoption in hopes of easing the financial stress that had led Lee's being on welfare, which was later also named Patricia. Winfrey did not know that she had a second half sister until 2010. By the time Winfrey moved back with her mother, yeah, back in Milwaukee, um, he had also given birth to a half brother named Jeffrey. Um, the healthcare can wait. Yeah, like I said, the healthcare can wait. Um, sorry, that's just how she is. She's just so loving. Winfrey moved. We know that her half brother Jeffrey, who died of age-related causes in 1989, age of 8, she was baptized in the Baptist church. I don't believe that. Go the other way. Go the other way. You can't be jumping back and forth. Winfrey has stated that she was molested by her cousin, uncle, and a family friend when she was 9 years old, something she first announced in a 1986 episode of her TV show regarding sexual abuse. Um, biographer alleged of Winfrey that when Winfrey discussed abuse with her family at the age of 24, they refused to believe her account. It's like that with families. Okay, I think this is a little bit crooked, so there we go. Sorry about that. Um, anyways, well, of course, some families ain't gonna believe because no family don't want to be like associated with that and be like, that's not true. That didn't happen. When I first told my mom, this was like about maybe 10 years ago. I finally, told my mom what happened to me, and she told my brother. My brother really wanted to kill my cousin, and I just like told him like, don't even do it. It's not even worth it. Cause like I'm over it, and I moved on. I know I talk about it every now and then, which does help at times for me to talk about it, but it's not like stuck in my mind. Just like, oh, I wish this, you know, the hell my cousin. I hate my cousin, something like that. I don't hate the man, and I don't like the man, but it's just like whatever. Just move on. So I just took it as that. So and I think like tensions, because you have these like sex offenders like not being like doing what they do, and some people don't know the cause of why they do what they do. Some of them may have a messed up mind. That could be true. But if you know about like a person's past that probably them molesting children and stuff like that, could be a case of either what they suffer at home as a kid or could have been molested themselves. A therapist I talked to said something about that, like there's a possibility that they could have been molested themselves, but just like acting out on it. So that could be true. Because I'm like behind like people find the reasons why some of these people that molest children, why would they do this, and like focus on like the problem and stuff and see like anything can get solved. So I'm a firm believer of that, and it's it is crazy. But anyways, let's just keep reading. Let's see. Winfrey once commented that she had chosen not to be a mother because she had not been mothered well. Well, which I can understand that. Daniel Burry Sports Highlights. Hey, what's going on? Um, have you posted anything today? Because I wouldn't mind, watching some of your videos today. And as I just explained to everybody who just joined in, I haven't done any videos in a few days because, if you can tell by my voice, I'm not feeling well. You see me, like, you can hear me in this like deep voice. Normally, that's not my voice. But sometimes, this happens when I get up early in the morning too. Just like one day, just like, yeah, baby, yeah, he day kiss. That's just an example like how it is. Let's see. Let's see. When she was 14, she became pregnant, but her son was born prematurely and died shortly after birth. Winfrey later stated that she felt betrayed by a family member who had sold the story of her son to the National Enquirer in 1990. Yeah, it sucks that you have a family member just like dirty. But you know what? We're gonna have like family members like that, especially when you being successful and trying to do stuff for yourself, and you want to give back to the community or just wherever the case may be. You got some family that could be snakes and just hey, they want money for it. Why not? I'll do whatever. Cause I didn't think in life that everything's gotta be like all about money, but the stuff we dealing with as of late and all that's going on, it sucks. But we had deal what we can. Is like I've been trying to look for a job ever since like summer of last year, and like in this like few months ago, I've been lucky with like interviews, but that's all it has been interviews. And I know some people just saying you should follow up with them and stuff like that, and like see like what's going on. But if they tell you, okay, we're interested, we'll call you at this such a time, and they don't call, they just don't call. I'm not going to waste their time, and I'm not going to waste my time calling them. So, not going to waste either time and just move on. That's not what I'm going to do. So, that's why well, I've been doing this WFSO for 16 years. So, like the early stages of YouTube. And sometimes we did our videos through YouTube because it had to be like a certain amount of time that we had to do these videos. And also did videos on MySpace. I wish I can find all the videos on MySpace, only can be able to find some, and actually like reload them on YouTube just to look at shows remastered and stuff like that. But freaking MySpace got rid of most of the stuff, especially like most of the photos that I took. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, it's just ridiculous. But anyways, go back to this. Winfrey attended Lincoln Middle and High School in Milwaukee, and I think that school is, I think it's not around anymore. But I think it's like somewhere on the south side. Well, anyways, but after early success in the Upward Bound program was transferred to attended suburban Nicolay High School, which I do have a friend that actually went there, but I wonder if that's the school that my wife's friend's husband had went to, Nicolay High School. Something I got to ask him, but then again, he probably was in Lincoln High School when she probably was like, teasing everybody and stuff like that. Okay. Upon transfer, she said she was constantly reminded of her property as she rode the bus to school with fellow African Americans, some who were servants of her classmates' families. She began to rebel and steal money from her mother in the effort to keep up with her free spending spears. Yep. I know some people do that. They don't want to make fun of it and they just want to like keep up with the times, and plus, tease other people just to make themselves look good too. So yeah, that happens. Her mother once again sent her to her father in Nashville, although this time she did not take her daughter back. Vernon, her father, was strict but encouraging to make her education a priority. Winfrey became an honor student, was voted Miss Popular Girl, and joined her high school speech team in East Nashville High School. Placing second in the National Dramatic Interpretation in '86, Winfrey said, "When my father took me, it changed the course of my life. He saved me. He simply knew that what he wanted and expected, he would take nothing less." Yeah, it really cool, to have fathers like that. It really does. First job was a local grocery store. 17, she won Miss Black Tennessee Beauty Pageant. Okay, attended a local black radio station. Does the news part time. Worked during her senior year of high school and her first 2 years of college. She won an archery contest, which secured her a full scholarship to Tennessee State University, where she studied communication. However, she did not deliver her final paper until 1987, which is the time she was successful television personal. It was only when Winfrey earned her degree. Of course, her degree, her career and stuff like that. I don't think, we need to like go on to that. Television, everybody already know, and no like point to talk about it. Like we know all their history and stuff like that. So no need to talk about that. Let's see what else. Nope, nope. Now we're talking about let's see. In early years, the Oprah Winfrey Show was the program was classified as a tabloid talk show. In the mid '90s, Oprah began to host shows on border topics such as heart disease, geopolitics, spiritual, and meditation. She interviewed celebrities on social issues where they're directly involved in, such as cancer, charity work, or substance abuse, and hosted televised giveaways. She did, and gave everybody in the audience a car. But when you give away something, you have to like get something in return, at least like paying the I think you just pay on the tax on it. So that's probably what happened. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. The later years showed faced with accusations that Winfrey was promoting junk signs. This had manifested as criticism of Winfrey for promoting particular guests whose medical commentaries, both on her show and in the wider media, frequently lacked support in science. Common targets of this criticism included Dr. Oz promotion of various miracle pills, Oh yeah, that's why his show didn't even last very well. Uh, Dr. Phil, Jenny McCarthy's unfounded accessories about vaccine, and Suzanne Summers' promotional biogenicals. Multiple publications had called on Oprah to denounce medical statements made for former proteges long after her show ended. For example, there were calls to denounce Dr. Oz in 2020 reaction of his comments about coronavirus and his promotion of a poor vetted drug as a cure. So yeah, we already know that he was in deep crap, but then again, they have their followers. Um, let's see what else. Of course, she produced it and co-starred in the drama miniseries The Women in Brewster's Place. In a short-lived spinoff, Brewster's Place. Um, everybody and my mama did like that show. As well as hosting appear on television shows, Winfrey co-founded on the women's cable television network Oxygen. Yeah, which was it was all about reality TV and stuff like that. Which now they changed it to like talk about crime and stuff like that. Which one of my favorite shows is Snap, um, which was a terror network for her Oprah after the show program from '02 to '06 before moving to Oprah.com. When she saw her stake in the network, she also the president of Harpo Productions, of course. We know that's Oprah spelled backwards. No idiot wouldn't know that. A film and TV production company behind the Oprah show, Dr. Phil. Here's the wife, everybody. um,
Hello.
let's see. Production company behind the Oprah Winfrey Show, Dr. Phil, Rachel Ray, and Dr. Oz shows, and many others. She also moderated 3 ABC after school specials from in the 90s.
Are you talking about Oprah Winfrey?
Yeah. And wow, and some of those after school special shows were pretty cool.
I swear to God, Oprah Winfrey hasn't been black since The Color Purple.
That's what Mike has said.
Oh, he came in?
Yeah, he came in and I told him, I know you had your reasons not like Oprah. Yeah, he said it all.
Well, seriously, I'll tell you one of the things that in recent years that pissed people off was when the volcanoes erupted in Hawaii and they caused a lot of fires.
Yeah, I was talking a little bit about that too.
When Oprah Winfrey hired her own personal fire department to keep her ranch and her house safe. And then when people had lost their homes and everything, she lowballed them all to buy the property. And so did Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And then they did the whole, oh yes, we're trying to raise this amount of money. Please donate. You guys can do it your goddamn selves, you rich assholes.
I did mention that, it was somewhat of that story, but I knew you had like more information on that than I did. But yeah, it was just a mess. So January 15th, 08, Winfrey and Discovery Communication announced plans to change Discovery Health Channel to a new channel called the Oprah Winfrey Network. Scheduled launch in 09, but was delayed and actually launched on January 1st of 2011. Series finale of her show ended that same year in May 25th.
Yeah, strange but true fact. I actually had a phone call when I was with Robert's dad to appear on the Oprah Winfrey Show.
Really?
She had a one of the online forums,
right,
and everything. And I can't remember where it was from that it was going on about it.
Uh-huh.
And I posted underneath, and this is the God's honest truth. When I got out of hospital, when I was in England after being beaten up by my ex, the Oprah Winfrey Show was on one day, and it said, she went, if you're being beaten by a partner, pack your bags and leave now. And I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the comment on, and I think it was on like MySpace or something at the time. I made the comment of,
could have been, yeah.
You know what? Her show was in England. It was playing. It was about domestic violence, and she said, "If you are in a domestic violence relationship, pack your bags and leave now. It's not worth your life to stay just for what you have at the house. Unless you've got kids, then grab them and go somewhere safe." And so I left. I was looking for a reason to go. That was the kick in the ass that I needed. I packed my suitcase. The stuff that I moved over here with is what I left my ex with, and that was like a giant big blue suitcase, a smaller suitcase, and a backpack. And I took a cab and went straight to an attorney's office, and then went to a friend's and left for the US like 2 weeks later. Um, and I told them that, and they said, "Oh, we'd love to have you on the show." And I said, "No, I'm not comfortable being on there because it was still when I was dealing with my ex, and he was still doing this. Let me try and find you. I'm going to try find you. I'm going to find you, and all this, and it was like still scary." And they were like, "Well, we could put you in a wig, and we could put you in weird clothing." And I said, "The only way I would do it," I said, "is if you have my back to a camera where I'm not seen." And they said, "No, we won't do that. We need to see your face." Right there and then, I knew that she did not have an ounce of respect for people who were in a domestic abuse relationship, because I've seen other chat show hosts have abused women on there where the woman has said, please, please don't show my face. And you've seen the interview from like the back and the camera's faced on the host. And she refused to do that.
And Dr. Phil has done that.
Dr. Phil has done that a lot.
Right.
And so that's where my respect for her went. It was like, okay, you're being told by somebody who has only been out of an abusive relationship a short time to face a camera. And at this point, my ex was not 100% sure where I was. But you know damn well, if an Oprah Winfrey show shows out in England and shows my face on there, he's going to know where I was. And yeah, he found out, but he would have found out quicker. So my respect for her went down there. It went down even further with the whole Michael Jackson interview, where she was mocking him and everything. Then went down even further when she did the interview with his supposed victims. Because as you know, there were so many things in that was like, oh my God, yeah, that was a money grab thing. Then, as I say, it just keeps going down with the more and more stuff she did. The fact that she won't denounce Harvey Weinstein and Epstein.
I forgot
Harvey
about that.
Weinstein is her buddy, and she said he was a really nice man. Here's a man who raped women in the business you are in. He raped and sexually assaulted actresses, and you're saying he's a great man. Jeffrey Epstein, another one who she went to his island, where he abused and sexually assaulted all these women. So she ain't all that. She is a horrible, horrible woman, and she fooled a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm just surprised, people still, like her to this day.
Well, they will like her because she fulfills a fantasy of wanting to know that a woman can be great and make all this money and achieve in business, and especially for Black women, because we see all the time Black women are so thrown down, they're underpaid in everything,
right?
And you desperately want to have this amazing Black woman who's a role model. Well, we do. Venus and Serena Williams.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the Black actresses who were in freaking Black Panther. Angela Bassett, come on now, people. That's everybody's auntie.
She should have won an award for those two movies.
Mind you, she got a Lifetime Achievement Oscar in the end.
Oh, yeah, she did.
But even still, we'll go on to doing that about Oscar nominations and how she was overlooked another time. But there are so many phenomenal Black women out there.
Right.
And I'm not saying that Oprah didn't help pave the way for them to get where they are. But while she did that, she sold her soul. She sold her soul to the highest bidder.
Wait, another question, because I think you know about this one too. It was about the Color Purple incident that most of the actors came out and said like how horrible she was.
Oh my God! In the remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had the actresses, and the stars in it, the Black stars who were in it, had to pay for their own Ubers to the sets, whereas it's normally done where they are picked up and chauffeured in, whether it's by limo or by a private company,
right? Just
so that the address of the person, the actress, isn't out there. You don't want an Uber driver getting the address of, say, for example, what was her name who was in it? Oh my god.
Tyra P. Henson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't somebody who's, just a regular Uber driver having her address.
Right.
So that was the first thing. Then they didn't have proper trailers to get changed and everything in. And so they complained about that, and Oprah got them for them. But then Oprah slowly started to push away her and a couple of others who kept on complaining because food wasn't provided properly for them. Apparently, it was like for breakfast, there was like a McDonald's breakfast type of meal, and um, there was, it was just really bad treatment of them. And then when you actually look at the press things, Oprah was all over the younger stars who she could actually push around. But the older ones who were, seasoned actors and actresses, if you look at the publicity photos with her with the cast, they won't have her standing with them, and they won't do interviews, and they got very vocal about what went on.
That's just sad. Let's see. Okay. Of course she. Okay. CBS announced that Winfrey will join 60 Minutes as a special contributor on Sunday evening news magazine program. Okay. A while back. Let's see. It was something that was star red. No, that's not it. June 2018, she announced a multi announced okay, Apple announced a multi-year content partnership with her.
Okay,
On which
stop.
she agreed with create original programs exclusively for Apple streaming service. The first show under the deal was Oprah's Book Club. Um, Oprah's Book Club was based on segments the same name from Oprah Winfrey Show. Second show under the deal was Oprah Talks COVID-19. Okay, which was the month that it all started. Third show was Oprah's Conversation, debut a few months later after that. Okay. And of course, celebrity interviews. So, now this was what you and Mike was saying. She was talking about Michael Jackson on the rub, but in 1993, Whitney hosted a rare prime time interview called Michael Jackson Talks to Oprah with Michael Jackson, which became the fourth most watched event in American television, as well as the most watched interview ever, with an audience of 36.5 million. Let's see, on December '05, she appeared on The Late Show for the first time, 16 years to promote a new Broadway musical, The Color Purple. Of course, which she produced, not even surprised. Let's see, the episode was held on some of the television events of the decade. Okay, let's see. Although a much rumored feud was said to have been the cause of the rift, both Winfrey and Letterman balked at such talk. I want you to know it's really over wherever you thought was happening, Sarah Winfrey. On September 10th, '07, Letterman made his first appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Show as the season premiere was filmed in New York City. Let's see. In '06, rappers Ludacris, 50 Cent, and Ice Cube criticized Winfrey for what they perceive her as a anti-hip hop bias.
Yep.
In an interview with GQ magazine, Ludacris said that Winfrey gave him a hard time about his lyrics and edited comments he made during an appearance on her show with a cast of the film Crash. Yeah, that was a good movie. He also said that he wasn't initially invited to the show with the rest of the cast. Winfrey responded by saying that she is opposed to rap lyrics that modernize women, but enjoys some artists, including Kanye West. Oh my God.
Tells you all you need to know right there, doesn't it?
But like in the beginning, Kanye West was good.
Yeah.
Then he just went ever since his mom died.
Well, and this is the thing, when you actually listen to the interview with Ludacris and 50 Cent and everything, she just carries on and on and on and on and on. She won't let him even get a word in either.
Wow. Let's see. Let's see where I was at. Oh, okay. She says she spoke with Ludacris backstage after her appearance to explain her position and said she understood that his music was for entertainment purposes, but that some of his listeners might take it literally. Let's see. In September '08, she received criticism after Mac Drudridge, DRUDGE, or the reported that Winfrey refused to have Sarah Palin on her show allegedly because Winfrey's support for Barack Obama. Winfrey denied the report, maintaining that there is never a discussion regarding her Palin appearance on the show. Um,
Yes, there actually was because Sarah Palin. I'm not a fan of hers, but just to back her up a little bit, though, Sarah Palin actually came out with receipts where she offered Oprah Winfrey as she was in town at the time.
uh-huh.
She said something along the lines of, I admire and respect you. You're one of the few people I'd be willing to do an interview with, even though our views are opposite.
Right.
I feel that you would give me a fair chance to speak and you would ask the hard questions that I'd be willing to answer. And Oprah Winfrey ignored her, but Sarah Palin did put all that out there.
Oh wow. Let's see. She said that after she made it public her support for Obama, then she decided that she would not let her show to be used a platform for any other candidates. Although Obama appeared twice on her show, those appearances were prior to the declaration as the president candidate. Winfrey added that Palin would make a fantastic guest, but that she would love to have her on the show after the election, which she did on November 18th, 2009. In 2009 as well, Winfrey was criticized for allowing actress Suzanne Summers to appear on her show to discuss hormone treatments that are not accepted by mainstream medicine. Critics have also suggested that Winfrey is not tough enough when questioning a celebrity guest or politician who she appears to like. Lisa de Morales, a media consultant for the Washington Post, stated that Oprah doesn't do follow-up questions unless you're an author who's embarrassed her by fabricating portions and supposed to memoir she plugged for her book club, referring to the controversy around James Frey's A Million Little Pieces. Okay, what else?
Might want to wrap it up because it's nearly 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that's true.
And we have important MTV business to
Oh no,
watch.
no. In 2021, she conducted an interview with Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, where her husband, Prince Harry, of course, broadcast globally and see international media attention.
Ivy.
Let's see.
Ivy.
2024, ABC aired a new television special titled AI and the Future of Us, or for Winfrey Special, a 1 hour show. Yeah, I heard about that one. And I think she did one recently too, not too long ago. Okay, films, we don't care about that. Like we already know what she like filming and okay, yes, all the other stuff she did. Publishing and writing, radio, whatever. I don't even want to talk about her home over 127 million. Who cares? Oh, she purchased a condominium in
Stop.
Chicago in '85.
Hey.
Hey,
Ivy. Lord have mercy.
let's see. 1992, she purchased a 80-acre compound in Colorado. Also purchased an apartment at the Four Seasons Hotel in Chicago. 96 2000. Purchased a total of 5 condos in different developments of the Fisher Island in Florida. 2000 to her Chicago-based LLC Overground Railroad. She purchased her friend Gail Kim in estimated Greenwich, Connecticut, which I'm not even surprised.
They're lovers. They
Christian
just need to
Island.
come out and admit it.
Yeah, she was mentioning about her current boyfriend Stedman, like they did get engaged, but they never ever
Yeah.
went through it. Well, I guess we already know like why anyway. So
Because she's probably eating girls' meat flaps.
oh, she currently lives as a right now at an estate with an ocean and mountain views in Moreto, California. Additionally, that year she also purchased home for both Inwood Park, Illinois, and Maryville, Indiana, for other family members and friends. Oh wow. Oh, okay, okay. This is interesting. In 2002, she purchased her father's home in Franklin, Tennessee, in a lakefront condo in Milwaukee. Yeah. In 2003, she listed her compound, Roland Perry, Indiana, and sold it in 2004. 03 to 06, she acquired.
It's nearly 8 o'clock. Give me the remote.
I know. I want to see it too, but I'm just trying to hurry it up. So I will give you the remote though. Um, Lakeshore Drive in downtown. Okay, she owned all these properties in Chicago, and of course one here in Milwaukee. But owning like the properties is fine, but are you invested in the cities that you buying those condos in? Are you invested in like create jobs for people or
Probably
do
not.
something like that? No, she haven't. We already talked about her romantic history earlier. We know she was in an affair with a guy. She dated what's his name because they broke up because of interracial difference. How people will yeah, the romantic relationship with John Chess. Um, yep, the interracial relationship.
Why is she worried about an interracial relationship when she's white anyway?
That was in the 70s. Of course, we know she was confessed to smoking crack cocaine. We knew that. I mentioned that earlier. And of course, did drugs with a guy she was with during the time she did her show.
Went to Diddy parties, was on Epstein's Island.
Let's see. What the claims she appeared as a guest on the Lookalike segment began relationships with Winfrey involving romantic evenings at home, cabernet baths, and dinners with Michael Jordan and Danny Glover. Okay, yeah, we ain't gonna talk about original views and stuff like that. Really ain't much to talk about, but it's just like I said before we end the show. I'm sorry, but although she like politician wise on the right side of it, but it's just her other views is just so horrible.
And she aligns herself with some very shady people.
Exactly. Well, like you said, she hadn't been black since.
She'd been black since color purple.
Yeah, I think some celebrities would say that yeah, she hadn't been black since then. So there could be some views like people agree on, but it's not like okay, we can't we
Let's
don't
be honest, you're not going to agree with everybody on all views.
right.
But when you've got people who are coming out and being arrested and charged and convicted of sexual assault acts, and you're claiming that they're really good people, you got a problem.
Hmm. So guys, we're going to end it from here because I know we can talk more about this on how bad she is. Because my main issue was like she hasn't like invested in anything besides what they mentioned like brought like a
Property.
condo.
Yeah, property.
Yeah. Has she invested in anything else like help people get jobs, create jobs, or anything like that, or help with the poor or anything like that? No, she hasn't. So, and that's all we're gonna say about that. So, thank you guys for watching. Please, if you follow us on Twitch, please, follow us. Also, tell people about this channel. We do like live content like almost every day. After you guys on YouTube, thanks for the likes so far. Just like, subscribe. Try, like I said, try to get to 1,000 subscribers. Hopefully, we can get there by the end of the year. We can try to do more like content and also do some giveaways and stuff. Um, we do got an auction for Maddie's Memory tomorrow, so look at Maddie's Memory on Facebook for more information on that. And the auction starts tomorrow. And WFSO will be adding some stuff on that too. So also over 2,500 videos on YouTube as well. So check them out. There may be some content you might like. So please, check it out. And the dog Ivy says bye. So until the next video, and check out the website, recipe.speakout.weebly.com as well. So until then, you guys have a good one and see you later. Let's see.